Are we live? Oh, we are now. Good evening, everybody. That took 36 seconds before that connected. That's not a very good sign, is it? Anyway, good evening, everybody on the tube. I can see you all waiting in readiness. Let's just flick over to Facebook and see if Facebook has joined the party. It has. Oh, we're doing well. We're doing well. This is going to be fun. So let's just say hello to everybody who's already waiting on the tube. Oh, my mouse has died. The computer one, obviously. So hi, Margaret, Brenda, Shell, Saz, Nina, Jan, Shell. Oh, it's too quick. Anne, Paula, Sally Ann, Margaret, Elaine, Jan, Caroline. Oh, I love your name. Brown Pierce. That's very posh. Angie. Yeah, you're looking forward to it. Let's see what I make first. Let me just turn these subtitles off. So tonight's going to be a bit of a challenge. Surprise, surprise. Just good evening to everybody who's already there on Facebook. Do you like the title? So hi, Jill, Linda, Andreen, Sandra, Zoe, Christine, Anna, Helen, Anne, Debbie, Margaret, Susan, Elvina, lovely posh name, Julia, Caroli, Wendy, Carol, Chrissy. I take it you've got a cold, Chrissy, bless you. Jean, Jill, Jeanette, Amanda, and we'll wait for everybody else to get here. Right, let's just take this screen off. That'll make you laugh. Purple Perfection. Well, let's see if it is. So, there's a lot to do tonight. It's going to be slightly in the same vein as what we did last week. Only different size, different colours, and different techniques. So, truth be known, when I was prepping, I'll show you in a minute. When I was prepping this earlier, I sent a photo to Julia, and I put, oh, this won't be a quick one tonight. And she's put, no, but it'll be fabulous. And Julia says the same as a lot of you have, that you love purple. So, you know I struggle with purple. Yeah, there's a couple of extras put in there, Wendy. I don't know what it is, but I always struggle with purple projects. You can blame me if you want, Chuck. Bless you. I've still got a bad chest, though. I've had this for weeks. Doctors are not interested, so just got to ride the storm, as they say. Yeah, so we're doing a very much in the same sort of vein as what we did last week, mixed media type, with lots of different products chucked at it. You can see that I've introduced 2 extra colours, and I'll tell you about that when we get to it. But there is a lot to do tonight, and I want to do this card justice. So I've called it Purple Perfection. Let's see if it is. Let's see if it is. So I'm just going to bring in what I've got on my layout. So this is my layout for tonight. This is not a normal sized card. This is bigger than... Everybody said they love purple. Isn't it funny that I just struggle with purple colours? So strange, isn't it? You know why? It's because I'm always drawn to the blues and the greens and the like pink and green and those kind of colours. Hi Jean, hi Sue, hi Margaret, Sarah Jane, SJ, Maureen, Sue, Lynn, anybody who's joined us after, Rose, Alison, David, Marie. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a real test of my skills. See, so Hope, I'm just looking at the comments. Hope on YouTube has said purple is perfection. Try shaded lilac. Now, can I just say, shaded lilac is one of my least favourite colours in the Distress Oxides. Isn't that strange? It's probably one that I use the least. How strange is that? Anyway, so I thought let's challenge myself. So we are very much doing a mixed media style project, as you can see. So I'm going to move all this stuff off my card and show you how I've made the card blank, because it's not an ordinary size as you would expect. It would never be my go-to. Yeah, I loved it when I was a teenager. It's strange, isn't it, Sandra? It's because I like blues. It is a lot of products, Emma. But can you see how I've introduced these summer citrine and the new rust just to break up the colours of the purple. So I've actually got 3 different shades of purple on this card. So it when I was laying all this out, it looks really balanced. So let's see if it looks like that at the end. So I'm just going to take these off. I'm just going to take these off. Oh, I'm just going to slide them off, because there's no way I'm going to remember what I've got on here. So as long as I remember where they go, that's the main thing. We're going to start on the background first. Let me just get a little tub for my die cuts, and then I know I'm not going to lose everything. Let me just chuck these in here. I just wanted you to see the layout before I start. I need that out. I need that out. And then everything else can get chucked in this tub. There's a lot on here, but hopefully it will be balanced by the time we put the card together. I will tell you about colours, etc. as we go along. So this card is 23 by something. It's 23 wide. You could obviously scale this down into an A5 card, but I wanted a little bit more space. I could have actually made this a canvas tonight. If I had more time to prep, I could have made this into a canvas, but I just didn't have time. So this is 23 wide by 17 tall. So there isn't obviously a card blank that size, so I'm making my own card blank. So I've got one piece that's 23 by 17 and one that is 24.5 by 17. So this top piece is 24.5 by 17, and all I've done, look, is I've scored it at 1.5 centimeters. Yeah. So this colour that I'm using, purple used to be Christmas. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Well, I just thought it would be good to challenge myself, and then you can tell me at the end whether you think I've done a good job or not. This is almond hue, so I've gone for almond hue. Hi Teresa. I've gone for almond hue as my card blank and my layers, rather than white, because it's a little bit warmer. The cream is particularly nice with the purple tones of this card. So I'm just going to make this into my card blank. So normally I would put this on the inside like so, just so that it's neat on the front and back, but I'm going to tuck it underneath just for the sake of tonight's demo. So let's just pop that. In fact, let me do it this way. Here we go. So I'm just making the card blank itself first, or I am when the glue decides to join the party. There we go, thank you. There's a lot to do tonight. I'm using a lot, but this is the whole point. Again, like last week, it's going to make you use some things that you've maybe not used for a while. And it's also a really good way for people who are a little bit scared of having a go at the mixed media type thing. This will make it easy for you. Just to incorporate different elements, really, different products. Carrots used to be purple. I did know that, SJ. I would never eat a purple carrot, I can tell you that much. Although I do like red cabbage and I love beetroot. So how about that? It's just purple. In fact, I'm just trying to think if I possess a single item of clothing in my wardrobes that is purple. And do you know what? There isn't. I don't think I've ever had anything that's purple. Right, so I've now created my card blank look. So I've now got a card blank that is 17 by 23. Ooh, it looks nice that way as well. But no, we're doing landscape tonight. So pop that to one side. The colours that I'm using tonight, just so that you know, are... In fact, let me get them. Let me get a sheet of each just to show you. Just in case you want to have a go at this. You never know. You never know. I've got one colour missing. Where is it? Where's the other colour? Well, that's not very good, is it? I can't find it all. How strange is that? Oh, found it. I've got so much stuff in here, it's ridiculous. Right, so these are the 4 colours that I'm using tonight. I've got the wrong glasses on. That's why the screen looks blurry. So we have got... There we go, that looks more palatable, doesn't it? So we've got almond hue, deep plum, which I know might look a bit black on the screen, but it is it's a lovely dark purple, plum colour, purple passion, and lavender meadow. So these are the 3 colours. I've just changed them back, Nina. The screen was... Oh, I might have, Caroline. I wonder if I have. So these are the 4 colours. Do you know what? I've got about 100 waistcoats. Half of them I can't fit in anymore. So almond hue, deep plum, purple passion, and lavender meadow is what we've got there. They are the colours we're using. So I'm going to flick back to my crafting glasses. And we're going to work on the background first of all. So the background, as you saw, you're not going to see an awful lot of this because there's a lot going on this card. Now the card, when I showed you at the beginning, looked really OTT, but remember, none of the flowers were shaped or anything. So it will actually be more condensed when I put the card together. I'm not on coffee tonight, I'm on water because my head's been fuzzy all day. Thanks to the weather, I'm sure. So we're going to start with the background for this card. And we are using the brayer, and I've got my dirty brayer. We are using Villainous Potion. We are using the Shabby Polkas stencil. And we're also using one of the background stamps, but let's start by creating the background for this. So we're going to start by brayering this. I'm just going to move the mouse and everything because I want to take some of the ink off this brayer so it's not quite as strong. So we're going to do the brayer. I've changed them back now, Nina, thank you. We're going to do the brayer in background before we start adding the stamps and the stencil to this. Due a storm on Wednesday. Hi, Lynn. Oh, how lovely. Enjoy, Lynn. Maybe you could give away the ones that don't fit to... Oh, maybe you could give away the ones that don't fit you to us. You won't want one of my old waistcoats. Right, so we're going to start by creating the braid background. So Villainous Potion is the purple that I've chosen because it's one of the darker, stronger purples, but I want it a little bit softer. Now I'm going to come in for this from the edges just so that it's a little bit darker around the edges and softer in the middle. This is why I always keep one of my brayers like this, This is the squeaky one, so cover your ears. So I've put some ink on. I'm going to take off some of the excess, just on the little bit of kitchen roll at the side, look, and then start braying from the side. So remember, the trick to this is to not apply any pressure, is to just let the brayer do the work. So now I can see that most of the ink has gone from that. I'm not trying to cover this with ink. We just want some texture in the background. And I'm doing this left to right, right to left, because this is the direction that the card is. The card's in landscape mode, so we are doing landscape. Now I'm going to make this a little bit darker around the edges. Forgive the clacking. So I'm just going to make this a little bit darker on the edges. Because we're doing a landscape card. And this will be softened, so you trust me at this stage, this will be softened shortly with paint. So we've now got the base, the background started for this card. I'm going to clean that ink off the brayer. Hi Kim! Clean the ink off the brayer, because we're going to use paint on it shortly. And I don't want purple paint. Oh, I forgot to tell you all as well. Karen's asked me to remind you, even though she's on holiday, she's asked me to remind you about the 25% bank holiday discount giveaway. So that it expires at midnight tonight. So anything you buy over, I don't even know how much it is. Whatever you buy over a certain amount is probably 20-25 quid. You'll get 25% off. How about that? And this is a really good time for you to get your big dies and your paint packs and things like that. Right, so we've cleaned the ink off the brayer. We're going to bring in the stencil. I'm using the same colour. So I'm using the same colour. I'm just going to do a little bit of random dots. Now I already know that you're not going to see the majority of this part of the card. So I'm just going to concentrate on the edges. I want that off the edge. And I don't want it super strong. So let's just see if I've got enough ink on that. No. Oh, that's far too much. I think this is an old smoothie. Because the bits are falling off this smoothie. That's perfect. So I am making it darker than I originally wanted. Yeah, that'll do. Line it up. Do a little bit more. A little bit more at the edges. It's not a quick project, but it will be a fab one. So line that up. It's handy having a stencil that you can line up, even if it's not straight. There we go. That's more like it. And then we'll just do a couple at the bottom. And the ink that's left on here, I'm going to do a negative So just a little bit at the bottom. You're not going to see a lot of this, so don't worry about having too much or not enough. It really won't matter. Yeah, that'll do nicely. I'm just going to grab a little bit of card. Bear with. Bear with. That'll do. Leonie would be proud that I'm going to do this, because normally I wouldn't bother, as you know. So let's just give that a little mist with water. I'll do it this way. And then I'll do the other side. It's good for die cutting from. So once this is dried, it'd be nice to die cut your flowers and things from it. There we go. Waste not, want not. Chuck that on the floor. Let that dry. And then let that dry. I'll get rid of that for now. So trust me, we're now going to bring in my favouriteest ever big background stamp. Now, I'm going to apologise if we haven't got any of this, because I genuinely don't know whether we have or not. Genuinely don't know if we have or not, because I use it all the time, as you know. So I'm using the big backgrounds. This is a really good time as well. Hang on, I'm just... What's... Hi, Patricia. I'm just reading your comments. I think Lynn's had one too many cocktails looking at all them symbols she's posted. As Lynn leaning on the keyboard. Bless you. Yeah, again, so this is a really good time to get your big background stamps as well, if you haven't already got all the ones you want. Especially with 25% off, it's not to be sniffed at. This is the Vintage Ledger, and you know it's one that I use a lot. Now I am going to stamp this randomly just around the edges, and I am just doing this freehand, again with the same colour. So everything in the background is going to be Villainous Potion for now. Oh, let me just turn that on its side. I nearly stamped it the wrong way. So I'm just doing just some random bits. It's all subliminal. And I'm going to use this on quite a few things tonight, this stamp. I'm just trying to keep it somewhat straight. Just because it will be blatantly obvious if it's not too straight. And then we'll come to the bottom and do the bottom as well. Remembering that we're only going to see a little bit of the bottom of this card. So just sections. I have kept it on the acetate. It's sometimes easier to just keep it on the acetate. And then I'll just do a little bit over there. Slightly different section. And then a bit in the corner. And a bit at the side. Fabulous. Let's show you how that looks. I love the journal, the ledger even. Right, okay, so we're going to pop that to one side and let that dry. I think I've caught one of my nails, it's catching on everything. I'll clean the stamp. My fingers will be purple, which is my worst nightmare. I'm not going to put that away because we're going to use it again. So I'm just going to put that to one side and allow that to dry before we bring some dry brushing into it. So I'll change this to a clean piece. Right, now. Oh, I forgot to get it. That'll do. Just need a couple of little brushes. Just see if I can find an old one. Trying to find one that looks relatively clean. These are all my, well, you know what I call these. No, subliminal, so that it's in the background and you won't notice it. Chrissy says the background stamp is in stock. Yeah, you won't notice it, Sue and Jean. Have faith, have faith. You missed the name of the stamp. It's the big background vintage ledger. I have got links to everything that I'm using in the description for the video, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. So now we're going to bring in the greyboard bits. And normally, as you know, I would paint these with gesso, but we're not using gesso tonight. We are using the chalky paints. So gesso, as you know, is white, so I don't want to use white with creamy coloured cardstock. So we're using one of the chalky paints, and this one is ivory linen. So ivory linen is, well, as the name suggests, it's like, you can see the colour there, it's like a creamy colour rather than pure white. And I am going to stipple this. Oh, need to shake it. I am going to stipple this, but I'm also going to stipple it with some of the texture sand. Now, I've not used this for ages on a live, and every time I use this, everybody goes mad for it. So if you haven't got yourself a little pot of this white texture sand, treat yourself. I think it's only a £5 and it lasts for ages. And I'm just going to show you this background that I did earlier. This is for another project, this is not for tonight. This is the gritty texture medium. This is the gritty texture medium mixed with Lilac Blooms paint with a dollop of the white texture sand in it. So if I bring this in really close, you can see the texture in that. This is not for tonight, this is for something else that I'm doing. So let's show you how to do this. Let's show you how to do it. So the doodah, the little frame is staying as it is. So I'm just going to paint that just as it is, yeah. So I'm putting no gesso on this. I'm just stippling the paint on, and then we'll allow it to dry, and then, because obviously it's a pale colour, it will probably need 2 coats. But I'm stippling rather than brushing so that we get the texture. The little frames that I'm using are in the embellishments section on the website, the greyboard packs. So I'm going to keep this one clean to do that, and then we're going to move on to these ones. So these little bits are the wire greyboard, yeah. So the wire greyboard, and I've just literally torn it apart, look. Yeah, so I've literally just torn these sections off. It doesn't matter how neat it is or how not neat it is. In fact, I'll just stipple it with this one just while we've got it here. So this is also going to be in this colour. So I'll stipple the first lot on. I don't care about this being perfectly covered, because it's just going to be tucked underneath and everything. So up to now we're making a purple card, and I've not used anything purple apart from the ink pad. But trust me, it's all about balance and balancing the colours. I mean, you should be proud, because I don't do purple, and we've got 3 purple tones on this card. 2 different shades of purple and lavender, which I also don't use very often. So I'm just stippling the paint onto this. This is the ivory, the white ivory linen. So I'm just giving it one coat, as always using it from the lid. This is definitely one of my older brushes because the bristles are coming out. So here we go. So that's now, the first coat's now almost dried, so I'm going to go straight back in again and just see if I've got enough on here. No, I'm just going to take some from the pot. You can see how much I've used this colour. Oh, this colour is gorgeous. It's obviously not the same as almond hue, but it's soft like almond hue. Right, that's all I need to do to that. So I'm now going to bring in, I'm going to just bring in my small mat. I could do a new brown craft sheet. I'm sick of these corners sticking up, but every time I use a new one I do the same thing. So I'm going to take some of this paint now, blodge it on my mat, and we're going to pour in some of this texture sand. I can't see what anybody's saying to me just yet. Deirdre says I've hidden my credit card. Well, the 25% off expires at midnight tonight. Hi, Linda. So at least I've warned you. It's just a good time to get your big dies and everything, because 25% is a decent discount, isn't it? Oops, hang on, my mouse is going funny. Right, so we're now going to tip in some of this white texture sand. So I'm tipping it in directly to the paint. So I've got about 1/3 of a teaspoon in there. But now I'm going to bring in some of the texture medium, the gritty texture medium. Look at the state of these. You won't think you were in my craft room. They've been in that jar of water for ages. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of the gritty texture medium. Remember not to contaminate these. I don't need a lot. So just for those of you that have never seen this before, the gritty texture medium is obviously a texture paste, and it has a very, very fine grain of sand in it to give you the slight gritty texture. But it is super, super, super slight. You would hardly know. Oh, Chris has just corrected me. Look, it's 20% off if you spend £25 or more. So it's basically a 20% discount if you spend £25 or more. So I'm going to mix this in with the paint and the sand. So we're now taking the gritty texture medium, adding more sand to it to give us even more texture, and I'm just going to mix these things together. So something that's really, really fab about this is that you can probably hear that. Can you hear that? We've now changed the colour of the gritty texture medium. It's no longer that dull grey colour look, that dull white colour. It's now the same colour as the ivory linen paint. Everybody needs a pot of that and a pot of that, because the things you can do are amazing. And I am going to stipple this on with my brush. So I'm going to stipple this on with my brush onto this grey board. So what you'll find is you end up with little lumpy bits from the sand that's in there. I'm hoping I've done enough because I don't want to go in and do more. It's like Papercraft Artex. Just remember you need to clean your brushes after you've done this, because it's a mare to get out if you leave it to set. So I'm trying to get some heavy areas and some smoother areas. And it dries really, really, really quick. So 5 minutes and that will be dry. Don't want to waste any of this. So let's see if I can get it all on. So remember the gritty texture medium can be coloured to whatever colour chalky paint you put in with it. Now the metallic will colour the paste, but it won't stay metallic. So the metallic finish will be lost. So chalky paints are better for this. I'm just going to scrape some more of this on. Waste not, want not. Oh, it looks so good, look. There you go, look, that's a really good... It's good for your Christmas cards, this as well. Because you can add like a snowy texture to this. And it's something that you've probably never done before. That was perfect. Just trying not to waste any of this. And that one is bob-on. Right, so I'm going to put this straight into my jar of water. Just because it's a nightmare to get off your brushes once it's set in. And I'll just chuck this in the water as well. And this, believe it or not, will clean up with a bit of water and a bit of kitchen roll. Look at that. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm going to move that out of the way. Get rid of that. Put that back where it belongs. Bear with me while I fix my mats. I can't be doing with things not in the right place. Is that right? No, come across a bit. There we go. So we'll pop this to one side. This is already almost dry. Can you see that? There we go. Look, that's a good shot. So, cheap texture. Cheap texture. Right. And then we're going to come back to this piece here. And we're now going to soften the edges with it. With this same paint. Look at that. From that to that. How fab is that? It's not quite dry yet. So we're now, instead of using gesso, we're going to dry brush with the ivory linen paint. And then we're going to splat some stuff on it. But I want it after the paint. So just remember, everybody, when you're going to do dry brush, when you're going to do dry brushing, especially if you're using the chalk paints, make sure you've got enough paint on your mat so that you don't have to dip the brush back in, because your brush will pick up some of the colour from the ink, and it will change the colour of your paint. So I'm going to make sure I've got enough on here to do the whole thing. I'd rather have too much than not enough. That's probably enough. Let's just try that. So I am dry brushing, but I'm going to do it wet. So from the edges, now you see why you can't go back in your paint pot, because the wetness from the paint is changing the colour of the edge. And if you do need to go back in, do it with a clean brush and not the same brush. Forgive the brush across your screen, everybody. It's just easier to do it this way. I'm trying not to go back in my pot. You can see how warm it is. That's drying already. Let me just get a bit more out. Don't copy what I'm doing. Never do this. Because it's just a waste of paint. So the moisture in the paint is obviously reactivating the villainous potion and giving us a more purple edge. Just want a bit more, just a little bit more on the side. I can't see what anybody's saying to me at the minute. So it's softening the edges, and it's almost like using a blender brush to soften that edge. I think that will do. I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to clean that up. I'm going to put this straight back in my water pot. Let me just show you this. You'll be ashamed of me. Oh. Put the lid on before you drop it. Move that. Move that, move that, move that, and move that. That was the chair creaking and not me. Now this whole thing is going into my inky box. I'm going to clean that mess up. I can't, well, you all know I love the chalky paints. I can't say it enough. It's just one of the most fabulous things ever for us as card makers as well. It's not just about mixed media. Right. We are getting somewhere, trust me. Trust me. So what we're going to do now is splat on that background with fossilized amber and rusty hinge and villainous potion and with the paint. So these three first. Now we all know that distress oxides are going to react with themselves. Phill, have a drink. Good idea. So when these paints hit the background, and I don't want loads, just a bit, they're going to bleed into the stencil and the doodah and the doodah. And I've changed to my small brush this time, so I'll do the purple first because I want less of that. So I've changed to the small brush so it doesn't go all over my printer again. Let's just have a little bit more. Clean the brush. And just make some space. Make some space. Oh, that was the iPad. Oops. That's better. And we'll go in with the fossilized amber. I'm just checking it each time because I don't want lots of splats. I just want little bits of it. One more with the fossilized amber. And then last one, rusty hinge, which is obviously another quite strong colour. And I think that looks really rather marvellous. So last one is with the paint. Now remember, the chalky paints are water soluble. They are water based, so they are always going to dilute with water or whatever liquid you use with them. So I'm just going to take some out and then splat the background. Where's the lid? So I've kept this a little bit thicker than the paints. As you can see, it's really creamy because it will dry translucent. Ish. I can see it at the bottom, but not at the top. Marvellous. Marvellous. One more go with this. And then I think that should be enough. It is. So we're going to do one more job with the background. And that is to splat it just with plain water. So just plain water this time. And where these overlap, where all these splats overlap, it's going to bleed into that background and give us that lovely effect that we all like with the Distress Oxides, which is starting to happen. One more go. That'll do for that. That'll do. Right, now that background's done. Oops. we'll move on to the ovals. So I've got 2 ovals in here. Believe it or not, underneath all this, we've got 2 ovals. One that is having the filigree hearts texture dye on. So the filigree hearts is going on the small one. So this is the double stitched. Happy belated birthday, whoever's birthday I've missed. Karen, what are you watching the live for when you're on holiday? Go and enjoy your meal. So these are with the double stitched, debossed double stitched ovals. You know what I'm going to do with this because I do it all the time. I'm going to tell you one more time that everybody needs the filigree hearts die in their stash before it's all gone, because I use it all the time, and if I use it all the time it means you probably will. So let's just try and line up a nice section of this so that we've got some hearts running down the middle. Just make sure that's straight. It looks it to me. So let's just hold that down until the glue grabs. And this is my favourite, the Ornate Circles 3D embossing folder. And you know I love this both ways. I used it last week on that blue card. Look how gorgeous it is in coloured cardstock. We are doing it, using it in reverse. So we're using the reverse of this tonight. But I am going to run some gold over that. So let's just snip this off. So just so you know, because we've got 2 different sized ovals going on this card. So we're doing the one with the texture background, with the background stuck to the aperture, and on the other one we're having it the other way around. How pretty is that? So let's just pop that there for a second. That's going in the bin. And then on this one we're going to bring in the vintage gold again. So vintage gold is what I used last week, and this is the one, if you remember, that I've watered down. So this is really watery, so I'm just going to do this with my finger, and I'll do it from the lid again. So I just want to catch some of the raised sections in this. So because I'm doing it with my finger, I'm going to tap it on there and try and get rid of some of the excess. Oh, this is lush. This is vintage gold, everybody. Oh, look at this. Fabulous. I'm trying to do it lightly. I don't mind it going a bit in the recessed parts. Look at this. Vintage gold. Let's just get a bit more on. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really lovely. Oh. How gorgeous is that? And it's just, I don't know whether you can see it from the screen, it's just as pearlescent as gilding wax. This is why I said you don't need it. So I'm not going to stick this one to the frame just yet because I want to stamp that frame. I'm leaving that one plain and I want to stamp that one. Looks like a horror movie. So we're going to bring back in the thingy-me-bob. We're going to bring back in the vintage ledger background stamp, and I'm still going to do this with Villainous Potion. I'm going to do it all in one go. I don't want it perfect. I'm going to mix this with water. You know which is the right way up because the perforations will be closest to you. That was 9. 1 for good luck. So I'm just going to stand up to do this part, just to make sure that the oval is as straight as I can get it, otherwise it will look a bit dodgy. Let's just go for it. Oh, that's fab. Oh, it's not bad, it's pretty straight. So texture again, free, easy texture from the stamp. This is the most purple I've used for donkeys. I do like the dark purples, so like the deep plum I do particularly like, and I don't mind Purple Passion, which is the one that's on the one that's on here. I don't mind Purple Passion. It's when you get to the sickly lavender colour. Oh, look how fab that is. Right, we are getting somewhere, slowly but surely. Do you know what? I've got no idea what time it is. What time is it? 8 o'clock, wow. Should be alright. You see a dog in the middle of the hearts? Well, I can't see a dog. Oh, his face, here look. His nose, his mouth and his eyes. Oh, I'll remember that now. Right, so this is staying exactly as it is. I'm just going to glue these two sections together. We could have left the aperture without the base, but the background is quite heavy, remember. So this will allow us to get rid of some of that background without losing the texture. Oops. So this is going straight on here. My fingers are filthy, so I'm trying not to get it all over this oval. That's so lovely. Very messy hands, look at that. The chair, a whole roll of kitchen on one line. No, that's 1, 2, I'm only about 6 bits, that's average. So that's staying as it is. This one, is that dry yet? Yep, it's dry enough for us to work on. So this one is going on, I need to do it with foam tape really, just bear with. Oh, I forgot to tell you about that. Oh, sugar, I've left mine downstairs. I'll tell you next week. I'll tell you next week. So I am doing this one with foam tape. Next week is Sneaky Peek. Sneaky Peek. And it's not dies next week, it's stamps and something else. It's about time. These are long overdue, what I'm bringing you next week. Long overdue. And I've already seen some of the design team samples and they are awesome. So I'm doing this with foam tape just so that it's sturdier. Oh, did I tell you I can't remember whether I told you or not. Did I tell you we went to see Jurassic? The new Jurassic World, or what, Jurassic, whatever they've called it, at the pictures. And oh, do you know what? It was the worst one that they've done. And I love the Jurassic World films, so I was really disappointed. In fact, if I tell you the truth, I almost fell asleep twice. I hate getting my hands dirty, but shall I tell you something, Sue? I know that this will all wash off, so I don't worry too much. Even the metallic paints, well, you can see, look, the metallic paints just wash straight off. So just remember, if you're using the same shape on your card twice, as I have here with these two ovals, make sure they're different sizes so that it balances, and try and make them look different. So this one is going to be raised on top of there where the other one's flat, so it's giving us a different look again. You know, I do love all my inky techniques and my grungy techniques. I just like it to be done neatly. Let's just get this straight. That's fabulous. If I'd have put acetate in that, it would have looked like a photo frame. Look at the gold on that purple card. Right, so put that to one side. We are getting somewhere. So now we need to come to all the extra bits. So when I was planning this, as you know, I was looking for a border die that we could use, but just about all of our border dies have gone. And I wanted, and I can't believe I haven't done this, so these were the Elegant Eyelet rectangles. Now when I had a look, because these are a few years old, so when I had a look, if it doesn't wash off, there's always Jeff. What's Jeff? Yeah, when I was looking through all my dies, and I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of dies now, I haven't got a border die with the eyelets on, and I can't quite believe that. I'm ashamed. So I'm making my own. So I've got the Elegant Eyelet rectangles. I'm just going to snip a section for either side of this. Now you're not going to see the edges, so you don't need to worry about the edges, but we are going to stamp on this again, but this time I'm using the Vintage Daisies, and this time I am using a combination of fossilized amber and rusty hinge. Another bit of kitchen roll. So this time I'm using the other two colours for this. You're only going to see about this much of these. And this is the Vintage Daisies. And I've chosen this one just because it's a different background to the one that we've been using. So forgive me for doing this, but I'm going to do it. So I've just chosen this section here because it's got smaller daisies in it. I am doing it direct. And it doesn't matter whether this is perfect or not because it's only in the edge. It's just at the edge, and it's just bringing in those extra 2 colours. Look at the state of these. No, I'm not going to paint them. I'm not going to do anything else to them. I just wanted a different texture. That is the vintage daisies. And they can be stuck straight on. They can, oh, my back's going to click. They can be stuck straight on. So one edge is straight. One edge it isn't. These are just scrap bits of almond hue. From the matting and layering. So that's for that side. That's for that side. Right, here we go. So, background. The background is almost dried. I'm going to be really naughty and just take that off. It's not 100% dry. I might just wait. A bit. Oh no, it's just that bit. It's just that little bit, so I'm going to pop this on the card. And then chuck it underneath my tub. Whilst we do the flowers. So remember, this is the top. It's just that little bit there that's not 100% dry, but we should be alright. And this is going straight onto the card, and whilst we're doing the flowers, I'll pop that underneath my tub of dyes. Just to keep it flat. Right, chuck that underneath here. Oops. Right, on with the flowers. On with the flowers. I'm not putting a sentiment on this card tonight, apart from a motivational one. Have a drink. Every time I have a drink, my ear clicks off again. Let me just pop this on for you again. So for those of you that know about this, I hope to see some of you on Sunday. For those of you that don't know about this, so Lozzie from our design team is very bravely opening a shop, a craft shop. And I'm going to be demonstrating for her this Sunday. So if you can get to there, it would be very lovely to see you all. There you go. What is the colour of the card we're using? Which colour, Dawn? Which one, Dawn? The purple colours. I've got 3 different colours of purple. So I've got deep plum, purple passion, and lavender meadow. Right, so the flowers are going to be, we're going to have some that are some that are tipped with gold and some that are not. So what I'm going to do is the darker ones are going to be tipped with gold. So let's just get them shaped. If I can find my, there it is. Oh, it's very sticky tonight. It was packed by the photo on Facebook. Too far away. I'm quite looking forward to it. It seems like so long since I've been out and about demoing, because we don't do the craft shows anymore. It feels like forever since I've seen anybody in real life. Well, you know what I mean, the crafters. So I'm really looking forward to it. Right, these are all doubled up. And they are all having a missed one. What do you call it? An ivory shimmer pearl. So again with the ivory rather than white. So let's just stick these together. So the flowers I'm using are obviously from Floral Finery 3. And these are the Enchanting Petals and the something else. Oops. I nearly decapitated that flower. So let's just pop them there and see if I've got any more darker ones. I have. That is it for the dark purple ones. Oh, it's ages ago, Maureen. I know, the shows, I don't know what's happened to the craft shows. They just never seem to have recovered, do they, since COVID? And it's a shame, because we used to love getting out and about and seeing you all. But they're just not the same anymore. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. But they're just not, apparently. Right, so let's get the pearls in this before we move on to the other flowers. So there's not hundreds of flowers, believe it or not. There's not hundreds of flowers on this card. It looks like it, but they are all doubled up. Right, so let's have a 8mm. So pearl. Pearl. You can see what I've done with the glue, so that I can dip them in the Diamond Dazzle. And of course there's no small ones. Here we go. So that's all the darker colours, the Purple Passion and the Deep Plum. And now we'll do the others. So you can see we've got a mix of the colours, and it was only after I had almost finished with the layout that I decided to incorporate the Summer Citrine and the New Rust colours. And I always know that these colours are particularly nice together. So the new rust, the summer citrine with any of the purple colours is a really good combo. And take it from somebody who doesn't do purple, so you know that if it makes me like it, it must work. So I'm just shaping these up first. Oh, well, get well soon. Getting my glittery rings out. I'm just going to do them all first and then dip them in the Diamond Dazzle. I'll stop after this one because I don't want that glue to set too much before I do it. So all the flowers are doubled up. These are the same 2 flowers that I used last week, by the way. I just think it's a really lovely combination, these 2. See, oops, see. Sorry. I don't know why I'm laughing, because if I batter it too much, I'll have to do another one. Yeah, I particularly like the lacy tips of that one and this one with the debossing in it. It just looks really nice together. I mean, in fairness, any of them would, because they are designed to coordinate. Right, here we go. Get some diamond. Oh, shall we use diamond dust for a change? Let's try that. Oh, that's pretty. Just for a change. I don't normally use diamond dust. I always reach for Diamond Dazzle, as you know. But that is very, very pretty. So continue with the pearls. You can see that I've included some almond hue flowers, and it's just to break up the colour because the background is quite heavy. The background is quite heavy, so you do need to balance it somewhat, because we don't want the background to be what we notice all the time. And in actual fact, if you decide the background is still too heavy when you've finished, you can actually use your ivory linen paint and soften the edges even more, even if it's in situ on your card. So we are nearly done. The flowers are not going to take too long. He says in anticipation, because there are a lot. I never have time to pre-do these. And am I missing one? No, that's it. That's them all. Lovely colour palette, don't you think? Yeah, the craft shops is so sad that the whole... I don't know. I mean, we're lucky, obviously, because you all know me. And Loz is obviously part of my design team, so whatever I can do to help her, I will. It's nice to support people that are in the industry as much as you can. So let's just get these shaped up. It won't take a minute. It's only 8:20, mind you. I say that like it's a long time, but it's not. Let's see if I can stick any of these together, just to make myself a bit of space. Love the little dinky flowers, even if I'm not going it straight. you can obviously, you don't have to double these flowers up because they look just as good singularly as they do doubled up, but I always tend to double them. You'll notice they've got no stamens in these. I've kept the stamens off this card because I knew it was going to be quite full. It didn't need them. The flowers, you can see more of the detail in the flowers this way. Nearly done, I promise. I should have a break, shouldn't I, and see what you're all saying to me. Wait till I've done these flowers. Here we go. You don't really need to shape the small ones because they shape themselves when you stick the pearls in. Last two. I can't see what you're saying, so I'll have a look. Is anybody going, by the way? I hope you've had your tea. I have had my tea, Kim, thank you. You're going on Friday. If you see a lady with purple, pink and grey hair, say hello. You're going where on Friday? Are you sure there aren't about 100 flowers? It looks like. Purple, yeah, plum. I do love plum. Plum's an excellent shade of purple. It's a classy shade. Classy, not brassy. I think it's which is bizarre because I do like pastel colours, but I do like the stronger purples more than the light lilacs and paler ones. So there's not quite 100 flowers on this. I'll count them in a minute. I do like my embellishments. I've refrained using the keys that I used last week because I think we've sold out. And really it could have done with a couple of little key charms on this. But I think you all bought them last week. So I have got some new cog dies coming, which is probably going to be October, I think, or it might even be November now. But they are coming. Right, so here we go. Let's get these last few flowers done. This colour palette is really lovely. I think if I hadn't put the summer citrine and the rust in, I think it would have been purple overload. So this does give it some balance. Oh, I forgot to... Oops. There's always one casualty. And it's that one, poor thing. It's no wonder my throat's always dry. I never stop talking. Oh, it's a shame I can't hear what you're all saying. Oh, well, maybe not. Right, come on. One. Do you know what? Whenever you want the tiny ones, you can't find them. Whenever you don't want them, they're always everywhere. Oh, I remembered something out to tell you. I brought all the samples back from TV last week, So I'll take photos in the morning. I've been quite good at getting the photos done last few days. I've even got better at taking them. Now I know I like them on an angle. Right, here we go. Last two, and then I've just got to dip them in the Diamond Dazzle. The foliage is the Majestic Fronds, and it's just in the same colour palette. So Almond Hue and Lavender Meadow and Purple Passion. Here we go. And then we'll put this card together and then we'll see whether I've done it justice or not. I might decide that the background's too heavy, but we'll find out at the end. So let's just dip these in. This is the Diamond Snow, Diamond Dust, which is the finer one, just for a change. And I don't know why, because the Diamond Dazzle's right here, so it's not like it was a million miles away. Is that them all? That's them all. See, there's not that many. Just a few, just a couple. And I've run out of space. So I've got here, as I mentioned, the foliage from the new dies. I'm putting no glitter on the foliage, but I am just going to shape them up. And then we'll start the assembly, which is the best part. I've got a couple of the little heart sprigs, as you can see. I don't think there's any heart sprigs left. If there is, it will be a very, very few, because there weren't a lot last time I used them. And I'm just going to do the same to the heart sprigs. So the two purple ones, I'll do the two lavender ones as well. I'm going to have a little bit of glitter on them. Let's just do the purple ones first. So these are the little heart sprigs, look. Left facing, right facing, as you would expect. Yeah, absolutely. I've already started work on Floral Finery 4. It's going to be very different, so prepare yourself. You've got to wait a year for that though. It will be a year. I don't know where my spoon is for this. I could have just used that one. Right, here we go. I have got a little sentiment to stamp. So I'll do that first. It's not the main sentiment because I'm going to add that after. So let's just put that to one side. It looks very, don't you think that just gives you autumnal vibes? Does that not just give you autumn vibes? It does me. Right, so sentiment. Now, if we've got any of these, you will be super, super, super lucky and need to be super, super, super quick. This is the very limited range I did of Ticket Tape-tastic 2, which is the opposite way round to the original Ticket Tape. Ticket Tape-tastic. These are the ones that are negatives. So these are the opposite way round to the other ones. I think I'm going to choose... Treasure Memories. I like stuff like that. These are the motivational ones from Ticket Tape-tastic 2. And genuinely, if we have got any of these, I'll never have them again. So I'm just saying, I am going to stamp these in Villainous Potion, and I am going to chop this in half to create two little words from it. Treasure Memories. So remember, this is the opposite way round to the original ticket tape Tastic, because they were solid. And I've just dropped that murderous looking wipes. I'm taking it off my rug. The rug in my craft room is duck egg glue. Remarkably, it's still duck egg glue, despite gesso splats. Gesso splats and paint splats everywhere. So I'm just going to chop it in half first. I'm going to make two sentiments from this. So that I can use them in two spaces. Snip the end off, just to make these a little bit shorter. We are now at the latter stages of this. So Treasure Memories, two separate sentiments from one. And we will bring our card back in and start putting this card together. Right, so now we need to start creating the card itself. Yeah, did I put that the right way up? Remarkably, I did. How about that? So the borders need to go on first. Now remember, this is a little bit of a trick of the eye, because these are not full borders, as you can see, but they will give us the illusion that they are. It's too big. Just remember to make sure you cover up the ends when you put your card together. There will be some diamond dazzle, diamond dust. I can't mix them up. It would hurt my brain. So we're coming up here about this far and just slightly in from the edge. The same on the other side. So I've just got to make sure that that is roughly about the same. Yeah, looks good to me. Looks good to me. One oval. Two ovals. So now we can see this starting to come together. So this one first. And now we're back on with the glue jam. Oh, I must have thrown the cocktail stick away. I'll get a new one. Have a drink before you start faffing. It does a little bit, Nina. Nina's just said the eyelet frames on this look like old photo negatives. Right, so glue gel time. You can see it's warm when it starts misbehaving. It feels like we need it to rain. I think the garden needs it to rain. So I'm putting the bigger one on first. So this is the one with the gold. The gold. So this is going about there. So now look, we've got continuity from the vintage ledger. You would never know that. I should have glittered that. Well, I'll do it later. Actually, I might not. Continuity from the vintage ledger. I've got to try and get this twice as high. Do you know, I love glue gel, but it doesn't love me sometimes. I wonder if I should get a fridge for my craft room just to keep this in. Making sure it's straight and that the ovals are straight. There's nothing worse than a dodgy oval. Then we've got our chalky greyboard bits that are going on next. Oops, that was my toe. So the largest one is going up here, just like so. I'll just do this with normal glue. Doesn't matter if any of these bits are sticking up. Another big bit at the top. This is the beauty of the greyboard bits. It's worth having a couple of these. Now this one's for down here. That one's for up there. I keep picking the glue gel up. And then one more bit for the top. And then we've got the doodah, which is going on here. Nothing, oh, I might put some gold on the edge of that. Let me just put some gold in it. Make sure you don't spill this. If you do, water it down. Well, that looks lovely with a bit of gold on it. Let's do the same to this. not squashing it with my fingers. It dries really quickly as well. So a couple of minutes and that'll be dry. Right, here we go. I've just wiped that all down my jammers. 22, oh my word. Right, this is going on the offset on there. So now I need one side to be higher than the other. Right, flowers next. So here we go, this is where it all comes together. The two little words are going on here, but I've got to wait for that gold paint to dry first. So flowers are next. Here we go, here we go. Oh, I've just dropped half of them. That means one. I dropped one. Right, so here we go. This is where we'll put it all together. So the large purple one is going in the bottom left. I did take a photo of my layout, but I forgot to send it to the computer. So I'm winging it now. But I do remember that that was down there. I also remember that the large lavender one was up here. And I remember that this one was down here. Lavender. Was up here. I'm going to put the leaves on next. So the two large ones are going up there. No gold on the foliage, I've just left it plain. Oh, I forgot to put gold on the flowers as well. Not to worry. I meant to put gold edging on the darker flowers, didn't I? And I forgot. Not to worry. Not to worry. Right. Then the purple one. I can't even do it retrospectively now because I'd make a mess of it. Did you all try and tell me? No, I don't like it, Karen, if I'm honest with you. I'm just being honest. I'm still not liking purple. But there you go. That's just me being me. I think I would have liked this better without the background, but that's just a personal thing. So just 2 more normal sized flowers, and then the rest are all dinkies. It just depends what your colours are. This is not my colour palette, as you know. Just pull that up a bit. Pull that up a bit. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to pop the other foliage in before I put the smaller flowers on. So one of these is for here. Now, ain't that funny, Sue? Because I love yellow, orange together, as you know. We're all different, which is a good thing. Then I've got a purple one going up here. Oh, where did I have the purple one? Hang on, just bear with me. I've just got mixed up with which is going where. Yeah, I've got it. Right, I'm just going to pop the sentiment on before I put the rest of the small flowers on, because they're there for filling gaps. It is very mixed media-ish, this. I am liking it more the more I look at it, if I'm honest with you, which is very bizarre. So white almond next. Nearly done. This is probably going to take me 5 more minutes and then we'll be done. So almond next. Lavender at the bottom. I think I'm going to have to start storing my glue gel somewhere else when I'm not using it, because it's just melting. So small flowers next, just little fillers, and then we'll finish with the little heart sprigs. Now I love autumnal colours, but yellow, orange, browns, darker greens are what I like all the time. It doesn't do for us all to be the same, does it? So details now, finishing touches. trying to avoid that blob there. You can tell this is one of mine now, can't you? Well, it don't fit. Now why does that not fit on there? Because that's where I planned for it to go. Let's have it there then instead. We timed it not bad, everybody. Which is quite remarkable considering how much I've actually done. I think this... Hang on, bear with me. I'm just looking where it's needed. It's not actually needed anywhere. So it's going on here. It wasn't needed anywhere, that. Right, now with the flourishes, the little spriggy things. Heart sprigs. They're not quite dry yet from the glue on the glitter, so I've got to make sure that they get tucked in properly. Nearly done, nearly done. I know I'm faffing, but this is my favourite bit. That's my favourite part. And then we need one more. Do I need one more? Yeah, I do. And we are done. We are done. And how about that for timing? I'm going to pop a couple of little random pearls on, because I don't think there's enough on this card. Yeah, the yellow on rust is what makes it work, Paula. Oh, what's happened to YouTube? Oh, there we go. I think I've paused myself on YouTube. There we go. Treasure memories. I do quite like it now. I think I might just need to have some glitter in the background. I think it's that's confuddling me. Do you know what? I'm not going to put the pearls on. So let's just see. It obviously wasn't a quick project. Actually, do you know what? The more I look at this, the more I like it. So there you go. So let's just do it'll look better on the photo when I take it tomorrow, so you can see all the dimension and everything on it. No, actually, it's not bad, Jackie. It's not bad. I might give this away in the Facebook group because it's not going in the shop. So I might give this away in the Facebook group. So make sure you've joined the Facebook group, and we'll do a little giveaway of this. It definitely needs the summer citrine and the rust. It needed that. But there you go. So we've got texture on the background with the greyboard, with the sandy doodah. the whole thing, I think I'd have liked this better without the background. So I might try and recreate this without the inky background. I think it's the inky background that's putting me off. But there you go. And there you go, at least we've done purples. That'll be the first and last card I do in purple this year. You don't need to be polite, it's not my favourite thing. It's just not my colours, that's all. But there you go, we've done it. Job done. It needs it to break the purple, yeah. Well, the citrine and the doodah. Citrine and the rust, yeah, I agree. It does need it. It is very pretty. I love that. Loving the vintage gold paint on the raised embossing folder. Look at that. That was worth doing, wasn't it? Anyway, there you go. Job done. First and only purple card this year. It'll be the last. But I've done one. I've challenged myself, and I'm still not a purple fan. Sorry. Now I know Julia will absolutely love this, but we'll give it away in the Facebook group because it's not going in the shop. Right, so let's just do a couple of little reminders for you all. Let me get a drink first. Oh, look at the time as well. It does do you good, Chrissy, but I think I could have done a better job. But that's just me. I'm my own worst critic. I might not even take a photo for Facebook. Oh dear. Anyway, so I need to do a giveaway. What can we give away? Oh God, I normally ask Karen, but she's on the jollies. I know we'll do the big background stamps. So somebody will win the Daisy one, and somebody will win the Vintage Ledger. So let's do Vintage Ledger for YouTube. So let me just do the reminders for the socials, everybody, because I forget this every time. So if you haven't yet joined us in our Facebook group, please do. You can search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours and ask to join our group. I will sign this card and give it away in the Facebook group because it's not going in the shop, I can tell you that much. So join the Facebook group and the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. If you haven't yet, please do like and follow the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, and also the shop Facebook page, which is Honeypot Crafts. Now, if you haven't yet followed the Honeypot Crafts Facebook page, get on there, give it a follow, because that's where Karen posts most of the information about sales and stuff like that. It goes on there first. And the YouTube channel, apologies if you're watching me for the first time. I do normally do a better job than that. I know I'm my own worst critic. But we are live every Monday evening on Facebook at 7 PM, so do make sure you get that subscribe button. And TikTok, you'll find me on there. This is not going on TikTok, but you'll find me on there, Phill M. Martin. The same on Insta. The same on Twitter, although it's called X or some strange name now. And I think that's everything. Right, so we're going to do a giveaway of the Vintage Ledger big background stamp for somebody from Facebook, YouTube. So as ever, if your name is drawn, send me a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address and a little reminder of what you've won, and we'll get that sent to you as soon as possible. So let's just scroll. Oh, there's a little fly in here. It's probably after this scabby purple card. And my mouse has stopped on Julie Shaw. So congratulations, Julie Shaw on YouTube. You need to send us a private message, Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, with your name and address and a reminder that you've won the big background Vintage Ledger stamp. And Julie, just to answer your question that I've just stopped on, yes, I am planning on doing the online workshops again pretty soon. It's just been a bit of a struggle because I've been doing 2 shows on TV a month, but that will be dropping down eventually. So keep your eyes peeled on the socials. So thank you everybody on YouTube. I promise we'll have a better card next week. And I will see you... Oh, well, actually, it's Sneaky Pete next Monday, so I'll see you all next Monday. So thanks everybody on the tube. Karen, poor card. Well, you know what I'm like, Jean. I'm a perfectionist and that's not perfect. That's why I'm giving it away. I might not even sign it so you can't tell anybody I made it. No, it would have been too much SJ. It needed the orange and the yellow. Anyway, right. So good luck everybody on Facebook. Somebody's going to win the Vintage Daisies big background stamp. Scroll, 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 scroll. Oh no, forgive me if I say your name wrong. So my mouse has landed on Anna McFetridge. So congratulations, Anna. You've won the Daisy background stamp, and you know the drill. Private message, name and address, and just a quick reminder of what you've won. So thank you everybody. I will be live in our Facebook group this Thursday for the first happy hour that we've had for donks. So Thursday at 7 PM, I'll be live in the Facebook group. Just a quick reminder that I will be at Lozzie's shop on Sunday. Lozzie's open 11 till 4. I'm going to be demoing 11 till 3. So hopefully I can see, hopefully I'll get to meet some of you there. It would be very nice to see some of you. I don't know what I'm demoing yet, but I'm sure it will be better than that. I'm now going to have a coffee because clearly I make better cards when I've had coffee than I do juice. So enjoy the rest of your evening everybody, and I will see you on Thursday evening in our Facebook group. So thanks everybody. Bye. I'm looking for the thank you for watching, but I should have done sorry the card was crap. But I never thought about that.